One of the greatest parts of using dbt in a data transformation flow is that it empowers analysts and analytics engineers to create and edit data models and transformations much faster, allowing changes to production pipelines in mere minutes, and with fewer touches and dependencies from other teams. This is great, but it does leave open the risk of applying a change that ultimately delivers incorrect data. dbt has a great set of tools built in to make it easier to have separate dev and production workflows and ensures that your project compiles and runs correctly. But how can you give yourself additional confidence that the data you're generating hasn't changed, or that the changes are in line with what you're expecting to change? Well, this is where Datafold's Data-Diff tool can play a role. I've spoken before about Data-Diff as a great tool to compare two sources of data, but the team at Data-Diff have now baked that into a dbt integration, making it fast and easy to test to what extent your new model output matches your original production output. Okay, there are a few prerequisites to get going. So first, we need Data-Diff installed into the same environment as your dbt installation. I already have mine installed, but you can find the command on their website. Next, we need to add a small amount of configuration to our project. This allows us to tell Data-Diff which database and/or which schema it will find our production models. Of course, it knows from the dbt metadata where our development models go already. So we open up our project file, and we need to add a variable in. There we go. I've added those as variables. In my case, I have a production database called Airbnb and a production schema called PROD. And that's where my production models are saved. The next step is to update our schema files and identify which fields within our models contain our unique IDs. It's important to know that Data-Diff at this point only supports single field unique IDs, not composite fields. Also, it's really important that you've already defined these fields. They have to already exist in your production models, otherwise Data-Diff's not going to be able to compare them to your new output. So to update mine, I'm going to go to my schema YAML file. The model that I'm going to work on today is the model dim listings with hosts. And my unique field is this listing ID. So I just need to add a tag to that field. We should now have everything we need to perform our first dbt run and Data-Diff. To run, we do our normal dbt run. I'm going to select just one model that I want to run. Then I'm appending a Data-Diff --dbt command, which means that Data-Diff will run immediately after our dbt run. There we go. We can see that our dbt ran as normal, and then it's performed this Data-Diff here. So it's compared our prod version of a table with our dev version of a table. And it says there are no differences. That's because I've not actually made any changes to that model. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this is the model I'm changing, dim listings with hosts. And I'm going to make two changes. I'm going to make a change to this field here. And I'm going to add an additional field at the bottom. Okay. So that's our dev model now updated. I'm now going to run the same command as I did before. There we go. This time you can see we've got some different outputs. So again, it's comparing our prod existing model with our dev model where we made some changes. So first we can see it's saying, well, it found an additional column in our new table, which I added here. saying that the row counts are the same, so there's no difference in row count, but there are 4,000 rows which have changed. And the field that has changed is minimum nights, which we know because that's the field we edited up here. So now it's really up to you as a user, as an analyst, to understand, okay, is that what I was expecting? Is that the outcome that I was intending to happen with this change? Or was I expecting 0 changes? And we can go back and review that information. I hope you found this short video useful. I know that Data-Diff is something that we're starting to include into more and more of our workflows. And I'm really excited to see the stuff that the team at Datafold are coming up with.